What else you wanted to?
Senor, remember the Senor Harrison S. Gordo.
Alright. This is the first match on the Derelict Watchtower Tournament Edition with IPOI Beatdwn versus EvilVangore.
So, game one. What are your predictions for this game?
I basically think Evil Beatdwn is going to get the living crap beat out of him.
Evil Beatdwn, not just Beatdwn? There's
Evil will beat down Beatdwn. Sorry, I'm fixing all my settings.
Why do you think that? Do you not think it's really good?
Beatdwn has been practicing all day.
He's been talking a lot of crap in the streams today. Like, he's been talking a lot of shit to everybody. So if he loses first round...
I think Beatdwn has been practicing all day with, who was it? Was it Ellen earlier? He was practicing with somebody all day long, trying to see how he was going to do. I don't believe he will be able to take EvilVangore down, though.
EvilVangore is practice partners with Castiel, who's a very good Zerg player. So I've never seen him do a ZVT, so this should be an interesting... Hopefully we don't see any cheese this early in the tournament.
Alright, we got EvilVangore rolling Toss this time around.
He always plays Toss.
Does he? I always thought he played Terran. Excuse me.
No, he's a Toss player.
Looks like Beatdown's going to go in for the wall.
Yeah, wait a minute.
See? You thought he was Terran too.
I do think he is Terran. Why is...
I have no idea what it...
Looks like both these players are going to be going for somewhat of a wall, and the Protoss player is probably going to get his... I wonder what he's going to go first. Is he going to go Gateway or Forge Fast Expand? We have a non-working worker here. And he pulls another worker to build this.
That is a fancy-looking command center that Harrison's checking out right here. Isn't that beautiful?
But in the bottom left-hand corner of this map, we have our orange Terran, the man who's been talking shit all day. Beatdwn.
On the top right is a little Protoss EvilVangore that's generally probably Terran, we think.
I'm pretty sure he is mostly Terran. Who knows? Maybe he's been trying to throw us all off.
Well, there goes the probe scout, slipping right past the wall. It isn't fully up yet. And Beatdown's going for a Vespine.
It is a gateway first from EvilVangore, though.
For anybody that's just joining the stream, as I see the number going up over there, this is the IPOI 1v1 tournament number 1. It is a single elimination, best 2 out of 3. There are no loser brackets, meaning once you're out of the tournament, you're out. We're moving right along. We have a lot of games to get to tonight. And we are not going to finish streaming until we finish the tournament. So it's going to be a very, very long...
Very long night.
Very long night.
God damn it. We're going to be here for so fucking long.
I've got my energy drinks here, specifically for this tournament. It looks like
Two workers
EvilVangore is drastically ahead on Harvesters. He's already at 16. And Beatdown's only at 12, and Beatdwn has a lot of SCVs just kind of like chilling there, just hanging out. I guess they're
not wanting to do anything. I don't think he's practiced enough for this tournament.
They're on strike. They're just, you know, hanging out, watching that little Marine.
Job, man. We don't get paid enough.
We have EvilVangore over here with a wall in his toss.
Quickly.
Oh, he does a Reaper, huh? Very nice. He could do a little bit of harass with that if it goes well for him.
Ooh, he's getting kind of lucky here. He's not making the Stalker. He's making a Zealot instead.
Very nice. EvilVangore's doing the
somewhat in his fortune.
EvilVangore's doing the general Protoss wall in with his little Zealots on hold right there, trying to keep anything from walking in.
Do have the Forge.
He has a Warp Gate research coming in at the moment.
He's not really using this Reaper for anything. He could go and do some harass and do some damage.
And it looks like his time frame for the harass is about to be over. EvilVangore's pulling in some Stalkers, it looks like, just as you said that a minute ago.
Yeah. We have another Reaper going to that watchtower.
Apparently he wants to really hold that watchtower.
Oh, nope. They do seem to be moving out here. But this won't do much. He's going to run into some stalkers and a mothership core, which will shut this down pretty quickly. Unless he can macro these very well. Which...
Oh. Oh,
he sees them.
Very nice. Oh, but it's too late. It looks like the Protoss sees his little move around the side.
No, but he will go up. This mothership core...
But he's in move and not attacking the Reapers.
One probe has been picked off here.
There goes one of the Reapers.
One Reaper.
And there goes the last Reaper.
Both Reapers without doing too much damage here.
Looks like
he does have an early factory here, though. So will we be seeing some mech out of him?
looks like he's drastically falling behind on harvesters there. Look at that. He's down to 14 harvesters versus 21. He doesn't even have an orbital command yet, so he's not pulling in any mules.
An engineer... I don't believe he is fully certain what he's going to do. He's not producing anything out of his barracks. He's producing one Widow Mine. That's it.
Looks like EvilVangore is pulling in a robotics facility and another gateway as well. He's trying to boost that military up. And first weapon upgrades.
And another probe. He finally got an orbital command. Our Terran player did here. But this is extremely far behind.
All that space in his base, and he still had to lift off his factory and move it over to build an attachment.
What is he? He's making a tech lab, so we're probably gonna see some siege tanks. That's my guess here. We have 2 Marauders and 1 Marine. I don't fully understand this build so far. And another barracks finally coming down here. This army by our Protoss player is so much better. Like, typically you should be getting harassed by now, but there's nothing.
Looks like EvilVangore is going for another scout. His observer
And
that
a
came
robotics bay. I think he's banking on this going to be I think he's correct on this though, but it's going to be a bio force. So this Colossi can do a lot of damage when this comes out. Because he is not prepared at all for this. Okay.
Looks like he didn't like the way his guys were in that bunker.
No, he wanted one of the Marauders out, you know, to run around. See, he's not researching anything. He doesn't have stem, combat shields, or concussive shells. I'm not sure what he's doing here. He's not producing anything out of his new barracks. He's building 2 siege tanks.
And it looks like
really
EvilVangore can't decide whether he wants to go in and scout with that observer or just kind of like play around in the middle of the map. He needs to go ahead and get his little scout
I'm
out
not
there.
sure. Yeah, it does look like he's going to commit here this time, though.
There we go. And it doesn't look like our Terran player here, Beatdwn, has a single detector out. So this little observer is just going to fly around.
What a detector is.
Poor Beatdwn. This is what you get for leaving until Heart of the Swarm came out.
I'm pretty sure Wings of Liberty you'd have more troops out than this, though.
He's been out since like basically the beginning of Wings of Liberty. I don't know. He's very rusty.
He hasn't even checked if he has an expansion yet, but I think he can tell by the 11 workers working. He has 11 on minerals and 6 on gas. Compared to 8 on Evil's expansion.
The economy in this game is just completely one-sided in favor of EvilVangore. This is going to be a very brutal game.
Oh, here they come. Here comes more gateways.
Let's say.
Oh, and a Stargate. Oh, Lord.
It looks like he wants to get a little bit more tech upgrades here.
Oh, he's finally getting combat shields.
Looks like the tech right now is severely outpaced.
But
We
he's-
have warp gates
he trapped
and
his-
level 1 weapons for
He
EvilVangore.
trapped his Colossi.
He
He trapped his Colossi. You realize that, right?
Yes, he did.
And he's just realizing that now, I think.
He can always just use his mothership core to warp his troop out.
No, he's just gonna destroy.
But instead, he's just gonna destroy a gateway.
That's what I would do. I wouldn't waste. Oh my lord, this is evil so far. He's already just setting up. He knows this game's his for the taking. His observer sees everything.
This
the only
game.
thing he's got to worry about are these 2 siege tanks. They're gonna do a lot of damage, but even then, this mothership core could just fly up and target those things down one
Yes,
by
he
one.
could. There's really no support to keep that from happening on him here.
He's got a few Marines, but they're not upgraded. He's got 2 Stalkers and a Colossi. What he needs to do is build a forward pylon here. Guardian Shield comes down. 1 tank goes down. And the Morph goes down. Wow. He has just destroyed everything.
EvilVangore took a little bit of heavy loss there, oddly enough.
No, because that's the defender's advantage here, but...
Well, he took out the
Blink's
siege tank.
being
There aren't a whole
researched
lot left of units to stop him. If he could just get his Colossi over there, provide a
This
little bit
one Viking won't do anything against that Colossi. 2 Vikings.
of...
Oh no. Oh no.
It looks like Evil's going to
And the
retreat.
probe's coming forward to make the forward pylon.
There goes the proxy pylon. Yes, indeed.
What? I don't understand what he's doing here. Yep, there's... Why is he pulling his army back, though?
I have no idea.
Oh, but I think he just realized what he's doing, how far ahead of he was. Uh-oh. He lowers down the supply depot. He wants
Oh,
to take
this is the
low
moment.
ground.
This is the moment. He's going to get demolished by Evil, and it's going to be game if Evil presses forward.
Either one of these people press forward, it's over. Oh, a big warping. A big warping. Now it
Oh,
gets
my.
mean. More stalkers come in. Zealots, sentries, everything's here.
Look
They're
at
all here
that
for the party.
magnificent Protoss army.
Oh, this is going to be a very one-sided fight here.
We've got the tech
Another
upgrade still
Colossus
going here.
and a void raise in production.
It looks like EvilVangore has 1 weapons, 1 armor to
Looks
the Terran infantry level 1, and the concussive shields and combat shielding.
Oh, a command center is going to come down here, but it's not going to land. Uh-oh, he just moved into him. He didn't.
Oh
move.
my goodness.
But even then, it's not going to do much here. The Colossi went down though.
There it goes. A little bit late on the expansion there, and by a little bit I mean way too
he
late.
just lands Vikings.
There he goes.
Oh, he didn't even get the cancel on it. Why? He hasn't left this game yet. He still thinks maybe he's got a trick up his sleeve or something. He's still got this forward pylon to warp in, a Colossi coming across the map right now, and a 3rd Nexus going down. There's just way too much going on right now.
EvilVangore definitely does have him on the ropes here.
Oh, he's gonna blink up. Oh, the blink up. That was nasty.
And there goes what little economy Beatdwn has there.
And his fighting forces. Oh, God. Oh, he took down the Widow Mine. He even pulled the SCVs. These Marines are about to die again. Oh, they just ignore him. It gets mean now.
Here comes the rest of the forces. Welp! Welp goes! Beatdown, that's a GG.
Well, GG.
And there's the victory for EvilVangore. I don't know that the second game's going to end up any better for Beatdown here than the first one.
Well, I have to take my leave now because I have to go take a shower and go out to dinner.
Alright, so it looks like our co-host here Harrison is going to step out for a little while, and I'm going to see if I can replace him for a little bit.
And then I'll be on and probably cast the rest of the games.
All right.
Because I'll feel bad.
I wish you luck, sir.
Having to leave. About having to leave.
I'm going to pull Eric down here. All right, Eric Jackson. Welcome to the streaming lobby.
What am I doing?
You're going to help cast.
Oh.
All right, so game number 2.
See you guys later.
Later, my
Bye,
friend.
Harrison.
All right, let's see if we can start up another game here.
My first game was pretty painful.
That was pretty effed up. All right. All right, so we're gonna start our new game here. You guys ready?
I'm not even in the party, just saying.
You don't need to be in the party. There is no party.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Is this game 2 of Beatdwn vs. EvilVangore?
Yes, sir, it is. All right. I'm sorry for anybody watching the stream if it is a little bit laggy, but it is of good quality, I hope. Sadly, normally I can stream 1920 by 1080 high definition for the stream, but decidedly enough, my internet decided to crap out in the last 3 days right before the stream, so it's very laggy. My internet's basically fluctuating really heavily, and I've been working on it for the last few days, but really this is the best I can do for now. I hope it doesn't bother anybody, but as I said, this is the best I can do for now. I can't even stay in the Twitch thing to watch chat, actually, here. I'm having trouble staying in. My chat keeps dying.
I can watch it if you want.
Please do. I can't even keep it up. My internet is wanting to die. Let me edit this here, though. Apparently, we are still set up for the wrong thing. I don't know why we're set up for this. It says Smez is streaming.
Hi, Beatdwn.
It says Smez is streaming. I don't know, I can't even...
I can't even connect. What?
There you go.
Oh, I just connected.
StarCraft 1v1 tournament.
Round 2.
Alright, so this is round 2. StarCraft 1v1 tournament. Alright, sorry. This will be more organized the next time around as well.
Oh yeah. I hope.
It most definitely will be. And hopefully my internet won't be crapping out next time. You know me, I never lag, but just, I don't know. It just decided to do this time around because I'm doing the tournament, I guess. I can't even watch the chat. This is really depressing me here.
Hey, Orion's hosting a tournament? Let's lag.
Yeah, it was like as soon as we decided we were going to have 23 people in this tournament, it was like, oh, your internet isn't going to work now. Good luck, have fun with your 0.1 megabytes per second. Alright, so we're on Clontus Meyer Tournament Edition with EvilVangore as Protoss again. We thought he was a Terran player. We don't know why he's playing Protoss. I guess he's that confident with his abilities versus Beatdwn here. And Beatdwn, returning from a long absence since basically Wings of Liberty launched as Terran. How do you think this is going to go down, Eric?
I don't think it's gonna be much different from last game.
It was a pretty embarrassing game. I'm gonna let you control the stream here and let you go around and watch the games. It looks like in the top left we have Beatdwn as Terran, chillin', maxin', relaxin', and in the top right we've got EvilVangore, Red Protoss.
We'll have to see what Evil does this time around, if he goes for a 4-gate or, goes for the late game macro.
It looked like last game, he just kind of threw a little bit of everything out there. He didn't even care. He just kind of did whatever.
Beatdwn going for a wall.
That's a beautiful wall, scanning in and out on it.
It's a hard-working SCV.
That right there is why Obama's trying to increase minimum wage to $15, because that poor little SCV just is not making enough money.
Oh. Evil going for another wall off like last game. And with a scouting probe.
That little probe is just boosting his little heart out right across the map. Look at him go. He's got to be careful right there not to fall off the cliff. That's very dangerous.
Evil ahead by one worker currently. And again, Evil's probe is just going to barely sneak past this wall.
Well, once again, Beatdwn has got to get faster on that wall off. It's very important to keep that probe coming in and checking things out, or possibly even making a cannon rush, or setting him up a little base in there.
Surprised Evil didn't put a pylon back there.
I would have. I would have gone ahead and thrown me a pylon up and just did my little thing.
Why is this probe sitting here?
Looks like he's going ahead and bringing in his first zealot over here, EvilVangore. And Beatdwn's bringing in his first couple Marines. And he's upgrading to a orbital command this time, a lot faster than last game around.
Again, he has some striking SCVs.
These poor little hard-worked SCVs, they just can't seem to work very long. They just get tired and kind of hang out over there on the side.
Well, he's back to work. What is Evil trying to do with this probe down here, though?
Oh no, I don't know if he's just kind of hiding it for a later expansion or proxy pylon. I don't know what he's hoping to accomplish with it.
Evil does have gas, though. I wonder if he's going to take the second one.
Looks like he's starting to research his warp gate tech over here. Chrono boosting those bad boy probes out and has 2 gas going.
He has 4 workers ahead. 5 now. Oh, looks like Beatdwn's moving out.
It's just not boding well for the Terran player. He's got 21 harvesters already over there versus the measly 16 harvesters for Terran. He's got to start getting some of those mules out to give him a little bit of an economy boost.
Looks like Beatdwn's gonna go for some early harass here. For Evil only has zealots, which if Beatdwn can micro well, he should be able to kill him, or at least a couple of them. He's not producing anymore.
Oh, and there goes the mothership core. This is gonna end badly.
Ooh.
He quickly took heavy losses, and his little battered Marines go for
Evil
a run
has
back
taken
home.
a second expansion, and Beatdwn has yet to have any sight of it.
Looks like Evil's going ahead and pulling up his robotics facility and getting in his first stalker.
Warp tech almost done now. Just under 30 seconds. Beatdwn has a lot of minerals he could be using, but...
Yes, he does. Here comes some harassment over here.
I don't know if Beatdwn has enough units to defend this.
He doesn't.
I don't... This could be game. He has 3 Marines to 3 Zealots and 1
If he can break one of these supply depots down, he's golden. Ah, Beatdwn goes for the pullback. Those Marines are just getting mutilated by the support.
This could be game right there.
And there goes EvilVangore for the economy line. Beatdwn still has a ton of resources up here, just idling, never even using them. And there goes the GG. EvilVangore takes victory out, moves on to the next bracket, and Beatdwn's eliminated.
We don't care. Should probably change the title.
Let me see here. Setting up the next game. Getting everything ready to go here. What'd you say, Eric?
Should probably change the title of the stream.
I already did. It's 1v1 tournament.
It says smells for me.
You haven't refreshed it. I changed it right after it started because I realized it was still on that from Smez recording last night. Smez recording last night was pretty hilarious. Did you miss that, Eric?
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty hilarious there. We had Smez streaming her little games on StarCraft, and it was quality. I sadly can't do that. The quality is pretty standard here, it looks like. Let's see. Chatting chat. It's no chat. Alright. So, yeah. 2-0 victory for EvilVangore. And it looks like the next bracket is going to be ElvenAshwin versus Steampunk. Has Steampunk showed up yet? I don't believe he has. It may be a disqualification for Steampunk here right off the bat.
I don't see him in chat. Or in raid call.
Yeah, I don't see him on here either. Let me check the brackets here, make sure he wasn't one of the original problems we had. It looks like he may be out. Let's see. Looks like we're going to move along. In place. WarpSpawn in here versus ElvenAshwin. ElvenAshwin, WarpSpawn, you ready to go? See? Alright, let me bring Mr. Eric Jackson in here.
Eric Jackson?
Where is WarpSpawn? I don't even see him online.
Hold on, let me go and... Should I go into the other chat and look for him?
Yeah, pull him in here.
I can't pull him in here.
I mean, like, pull him in the game. There he goes. He just logged online. He must be watching the stream. Alright. Second bracket. Let me see here if I can get this to work. Dang it. Pull this over here. Yeah, I'm using paint. Open. Pull this up here. All right. WarpSpawn, you're out of the stream. I'm loving it.
You are loving it. Apparently, Ashwin is going to get a glass of water. For she must stay hydrated while playing. Is this ZVZ?
looks possibly like that.
Oh god. This could be it. We could see some cheese here. I think we can start.
Can we? I'm adjusting the brackets here.
Alright, they're both ready.
I'm clearing out. Alright, so we're ready for our second matchup.
Yep. Getting into game.
Alright, game number 2, Cloud Kingdom Limited Edition. WarpSpawn, which is the lead CEO of the whole organization as Zerg, versus ElvenAshwin, one of our most active forum players as Zerg.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
I have a feeling that this is going to be a very macro-intensive game. But, you know, you never know. Ashwin could always fix spool or warp spawn.
That'd be very interesting. ElvenAshwin hates this map.
Good luck. Good have. Apparently warp spawn said, say cheese. Oh, looks like Ashwin's sending out a overlord to scout, and Warp having his sit there.
Once again, we've got ElvenAshwin in the bottom left as Zerg, and WarpSpawn as Zerg as well in the top right.
Same amount of drones, although warp spawn is... Oh, never mind. Was supply blocked. Ashwin pulling ahead in drones for that short period of time that warp spawn was supply blocked. Well, warp spawn getting a really early pull. Oh, Ashwin is too.
And honestly, I'm not actually having any lag on the stream, it doesn't look like from my side. But sadly, Twitch also doesn't allow me to change the settings on resolution. So if you are watching the stream, it is at minimum streaming, or at least trying to stream to your computer in, what is it? Resolution, it's streaming at, 1280 by 720. So it is streaming in high definition. Oh, Toxic, you're lagging out there, my friend. It is streaming in 1280 by 720 by default. And I apologize for the fact that it is only streaming in high definition because, as I said, Twitch isn't allowing me to change it for some reason. As a lot of times you notice when you go to other streams, there's an option for the viewees to actually be able to change it whatever resolution they want. But mine doesn't give me that option. If anybody does know what I might be doing wrong, then please let me know in the chat or on the StarCraft channel or community channels, Twitter or Facebook. We are set up on all those. So you can tell me on any of those platforms and we'll be glad to check it out, and I'll fix the problem so it won't happen again in the future. And it looks like WarpSpawn is running on in here with a little bit of a scout of his own.
Yeah. Ashwin getting the expansion, but
Oh!
Warp is not.
Ashwin just saw him running by with the Zerglings and turns to fight. Warp is drastically outnumbered. Warp pulls out more defenses to try and defend himself here with his little Zerglings. Ashwin's just chilling around with that little overlord.
Ashwin ahead in drones by 2.
Does look like that, and he's already got an early expansion.
Looks like he's just in general heads. Also researching metabolic boost just now. Hold on 1 second.
We got Eric's little gay dog in the background, you know, barking up a storm. Here's Ashwin going with his little Zergling across. And look at this beautiful little Overlord. Isn't that sexy? Look at it. Ooh, pretty. It's all beautiful with that little skin that Warp has there for level 30 Zerg. And once again, on the information, like I was saying, I have spent a little bit of my time recently setting up to make sure we have all kinds of platforms that we're on. Harrison has been taking care of our StarCraft community as the fact that he is our StarCraft franchise owner, meaning he is the one that you want to speak to if you have any problems on StarCraft, if you want one of your friends to join, if you want someone that you've just played with to join, you have any questions about the community, becoming staff, anything, you want to speak to Harrison. Harrison is the one that will help you out with that. I, on the other hand, have been working on the rest of our community, which is basically based on every platform. And my role more recently has been for the fact I have set up our pureonslaught.com, .net, and .org websites. So we have 3 websites that lead to ours. We own all 3 of the domains. And I have set up our Facebook page as of today. It's going to take a little while, get it remodeled, make it look nice. And we have a Twitter now set up, which will now tweet every time we start up a live stream on our Twitch here. So if you follow us, you will receive notifications that someone's streaming. And I've set up Twitch, obviously, as you guys are watching this stream, which, you know, once again is under maintenance, but we have donation links. We have links to all of our streamers. We currently have 3 people that will be streaming to our channel quite regularly. And we've also set up our YouTube channel for anybody that misses the tournaments or any live streams. If they're decent at all, we should be putting them on there.
Ashwin is going to walk into WarpSpawn's base with about 18 Zerglings with metabolic boost, and WarpSpawn only has 6.
It does appear that Ashwin does have quite the advantage here, having 36 drones versus 28 drones. And has 15 Zerglings out on the field.
WarpSpawn does have 4 mutas, though.
He did pull in 4 mutas, it does look like.
I don't think Ashwin has scouted this yet, though.
The mutas look like they're going out for some harass here. But also are the Zerglings pushing up the ramp into WarpSpawn's base. With Banelings hanging out in the back, waiting for a clear ramp into his economy so he can blow those up. Here it goes. Here come the Banelings to the economy. Can he make it? Ah, it was a horrible Baneling hit. He completely messed that up. But he's still in the economy lane, still killing drones right and left. WarpSpawn's quickly losing drones. He's down to 11 drones, 10 drones. Mutalisks get there a little bit late. They were almost at Ashwin's base. There goes the element of surprise for WarpSpawn's harass, and there goes his economy. But quickly, more Zerglings from Ashwin running in, taking out the expansion, killing those last few drones. Looks like Warp is going to try and do a little bit of harassment before he gets kicked out here.
He's going to set Warp behind drastically. That was his only source of income. No, he's down.
It was indeed.
Was that 14 drones to 34?
Yes, it is. He has no defenses, no units at his base. The Zerglings are just sitting here waiting to run in and cause havoc, and there they go. Immediately heading for the hatchery. Up, back to the Queen, pulls off that support. Back on the hatchery again.
This could be a game right here.
Warp is trying to do what damage he can do, but it's not going to be enough. There's Spore Colony, just did heavy damage to those Mutalisks. And Elven's just plowing through the drones, taking over the space. Warp has just enough money to get a new hatchery in, but I don't believe he has the ability to do so. He has no drones left.
Yeah. He does have a larva.
He does have 2 larvae.
This could be game 1, won by Ashwin from a sort of basis. I think if WarpSpawn just kept his Mutalisk in base, he could have just held it off.
I'm waiting for the GG. And it doesn't look like WarpSpawn's ever going to give up. His motto is, for the Zerg, they fight to the last man. First game goes to ElvenAshwin.
Oh, WarpSpawn.
It looks like Evil says the stream's good for him. It looks like he's got a little bit better computer than a lot of them watching the stream, so he's not getting any lag with the 1280 by 720 stream quality. All right, so game number 1 for our fellas here. Ashwin 1, Gage 0. Gage is WarpSpawn, by the way, in case you hear me say that. Sorry. Old habits die hard. All right. We're going to set up game number 2. Where do you think we should go on this one? You like Core Hall?
Yeah, Core Hall's interesting.
I like the limited edition maps. I really do.
There's no difference in them.
They're pretty. I like them.
They're pretty.
Gage almost had a win there, he says. It almost worked his Mutalisk harass, but it looked like he left his base just in time for it to get murdered here. Yeah. Let's see.
Damn, he just kept those mutas in his base.
Yeah, if he would have kept those mutas in his base, he might have been alright, but he decided he was going to go do that harass, and about the same time Ashwin decided he was going to do a little harass. Waiting for Gage here. As soon as I get him in here. Alright, this is going to be game number 2. Give me the okay when you guys are ready.
These games are kind of quick.
Yeah, the games are actually going a lot quicker than I expected them to. All right, I'm going to give it a moment. Do you know how many people are watching the stream currently, Eric? I can't get mine to work at all over here.
I just got... Mine just closed out.
You just closed yours?
Where'd it go?
We got our clan channel here for you guys sitting here waiting for the games to start. Now remember, if you are watching the stream, please do not go in a game. We have a few people, you know, that may be going in games here. Please don't do it. If you're in a game and you haven't played yet, you will be disqualified from the tournament because we don't want to sit here and have... Thank you, OBS. I appreciate your assistance, sir. If you are in the tournament, please stay out of games because we never know how fast games may go, and we don't want all of our viewers and all of the people in the tournament sitting around waiting for you to get out of a game. It will really slow down a tournament. We got a lot of games to do. And as you can see, it's already taken a little while. This is our first tournament, so it's going to be a little rusty. It's going to be a little bit chaotic, and we're all going to get used to this, and we will be working on the tournament and improving them in the future. Next time around, we may actually do multiple streams at a time to push the tournament into a smaller time frame. But sadly, you guys really can't watch multiple streams at once, so we'll have to back those up for you and put them on there so you can watch them at your leisure later on. Ashwin, are you ready to go? Alright, Ashwin is ready to go. Let's do this. WarpSpawn, bring in the game, my friend. Hopefully you can do just a little bit better than last time. Toxic, bring in the intro, my friend.
Well, this is game number 2 between WarpSpawn and Ashwin, ZVZ, on Core Hall Compound Limited Edition. I really hope to see a macro-intensive game, but, you know, that hasn't really happened yet. This could be a really good map for Muta Harass, as you can get behind the mineral line. But also, you could probably get a nice circling harass around the 10-minute mark, which Ashwin did last time. But we'll have to see what happens here. In the bottom left here, we have... Oh, I do not have the GLHF. In the bottom left, we have ElvenAshwin as the blue Zerg, and the top right, the purple Zerg as WarpSpawn. Ryan, what do you think Ashwin's gonna do this time around? Okay.
Alright, I'm back to the stream. I'm sorry, I had to step away for a moment there for a second.
I was wondering why
Did
you
you
were
introduce... Sorry. Did you introduce where they were on the map, my friend?
Yes, I did.
You
my
did.
friend.
Okay, my little cat... My little cat's sitting here beside me, and he's trying to play with stuff. He's probably going to be our little mascot later on. I'm going to set him up. I'm going to give him a nice, special, custom-made Pure Onslaught t-shirt he can wear around, and I'll put him on... I'll put him on the stream for you guys. Yeah, I'll give him a little Pure Onslaught t-shirt.
Oh, looks like Ashwin's doing a little bit of cheese here with a good old 6-4.
Nice.
Oh, we'll see how WarpSpawn defends against this, for he is going standard.
Gotta love that cheese. You know what usually happens when somebody brings cheese to a fight? Somebody always whines. Because wine goes good with cheese.
Okay, I just said gauge. WarpSpawn did go. WarpSpawn attacking his. Oh.
Look at that little spine crawler go.
I think it's gonna make it.
Yeah, it's gonna make it. That's dangerous. Here comes the Zergling reinforcements from Ashwin. Oh, this is gonna be a fast game.
We'll
Oh,
have to see how WarpSpawn defends against this, for that spine crawler did finish and is only at half health, and he will only have 6 Zerglings on the field.
indeed. Here comes those Zergling reinforcements. It looks like... Oh, he stopped his reinforcements. Spine crawler's under attack. It's going down. And here come the reinforcement Zerglings, Ashwin. Oh! Warp's trying to micro the Zerglings around. They're not going to survive regardless.
He pulled up the drone mine. This could be game right here.
All of those little Zerglings are just
Oh.
running around the hatchery, trying to keep the drones off of the economy so that he can't get any money, while he's producing more and more over here. Actually, he's not. He's not producing anything. Ashwin, what are you doing? There goes the queen under attack as soon as it comes off the egg. And there goes the drone. Oh!
Nice little surround by WarpSpawn.
Swarmed.
Oh, and he cleans it up barely. I think
Ashwin produces a few more Zerglings, but is really weak on the economy. They're about tied, honestly.
It's 4-4. On drones.
They've got the same amount of money. They've got the same amount of harvesters. They've got the same buildings. Well, Ashwin has an extractor with nothing on it, but they're pretty much equal.
He is building a spine crawler right now.
He is indeed. Looks like Ashwin now has 4 harvesters to his 3.
Ashwin moving on again. If that spine crawler finishes, this harass won't do anything. Could be ugly.
Indeed. Looks like Warp is trying to recover. He's badly damaged, but it's this spine crawler up and those Zerglings sitting there. He should be able to withstand this. And there it goes. Oh, Ashwin realizes this is a bad engagement and pulls back to the bottom of the ramp.
He does continue to reinforce this push, though.
He does.
Not making any harvesters.
I think Ashwin might be committing just a little bit too much to this harass. It looked like he had him early game.
He is going around, though. Oh. Here it is.
He tries to attack the queen again. Warp's trying to pull him into the spine crawler and the queen. He is successfully microing. And he takes out the attack. Good job, WarpSpawn there on that. He constantly microed into the Zerglings, pulling them just within range of that spine crawler. And he decides he's going to move it over a little bit more just to protect that mineral field. Which is a great idea.
He isn't injecting his hatchery, though, with his queen.
He injected it a minute ago, but he is not doing it regularly. Ashwin gives it the, this has been fun. He's enjoying himself quite a bit here, it appears.
Oh, second spine crawler going down for a WarpSpawn.
It looks like Ashwin just started working on his economy again. Quickly catching up with Warp and Warp. Oh, Warp just got a heavy amount of harvesters in. And Warp says, gives him the don't do it. Don't send any more forces in. I think Warp is a little nervous.
Oh, I think he's gonna try to make one. Oh. Ooh.
He says it doesn't have to end this way. Warp, as I said, is our CEO, lead administrator. He is the top of the top. He's our highest ranking member at the moment. He basically takes care of all the administrators from different platforms. So basically what that means for him is we have a PC division CEO, a PlayStation, a Nintendo, and an Xbox division leader. They're all CEOs over those entire divisions, which means they're above Harrison, which runs the individual game franchise. So there may be other people that run other franchises for us on other individual games. And then WarpSpawn is actually above them. He watches over our CEOs and makes sure that they are efficiently taking care of you guys, and you guys are getting everything you need and want in our group here. And it looks like our players are having some healthy banter back and forth.
Ashwin quickly catching up in economy. No. Looks like both players are just trying to
It looks like WarpSpawn is trying some diplomacy, trying to give him some minerals.
More spine crawlers going down for WarpSpawn. I think that WarpSpawn thinks that Ashwin is building a massive Zergling army.
I believe so too. I think he believes that Ashwin's been investing all of his time into his economy and his attack force when, honestly, Ashwin was so invested in that attack that he didn't have much of an economy until recently.
WarpSpawn dancing his overlord.
At the moment, WarpSpawn actually outnumbers ElvenAshwin for units on the battlefield, along with quite a bit of defenses at his base. Although he hasn't been working on his economy as much as he needs to be, or actually teching up. He has no refineries, extractors out at the moment. And it looks like
Ashwin is getting +1 attack for Zerglings right now. And
very
he's
nice.
almost done with metabolic.
It looks like he's going down with the Baneling nest as well. He's trying to break in there and bust down those defenses.
This could be interesting. Although WarpSpawn continues to just push out more and more Zerglings.
WarpSpawn just went double extractor and is putting down a Roachborn, trying to get those little tanky units in there. And he's dancing on the battlefield over here right beside ElvenAshwin, trying to give him a little bit of a show with his overlords. Look at him dance.
But
Dance, little overlords.
He is making more drones. Oh, he's making them right now. Just pulled out 7 drones to pull slightly ahead of Ashwin and drone count.
Oh, there goes a little
Ashwin-
secret movement in the corner for Ashwin, turning those into Banelings. As WarpSpawn continues to dance over his army over here. And there it comes.
Here it comes.
Oh, Ashwin realizes there's a lot of spine crawlers down, pulls back for a moment. Oh my god!
All those Zerglings gone.
I believe Ashwin sacrificed his entire army to take out all of WarpSpawn's army in the process. That may have been a little bit bad on the detonation.
He had to kill a spine crawler though.
He did.
WarpSpawn WarpSpawn making roaches right now.
Looks like ElvenAshwin goes for an
6
expansion
roaches.
over here. A little bit late for 2 Zerg players at this point to be just going for an expansion. But they are enjoying themselves just harassing the crap out of each other.
Oh. I think WarpSpawn is ahead right now, for he does have more roaches, and all Ashwin has is Zerglings.
He's also ahead in harvesters. He's got his 18 harvesters to... Well, as I say that, his harvesters start to jump a little bit. He's 18 to 14 in harvesters.
He's moving out, not realizing what's happening. Oh. So, yeah. He should be able to finish.
He lost a little bit of health there on those roaches. As you said, he just moved and didn't attack at all. His units took a fair amount of damage before he even realized it. And there's no more tech coming in on either side. I don't know what they plan on doing here. You've got Zerg attacks level 1 for ElvenAshwin and the metabolic boosting for his little speedlings.
Ashwin is getting ground carapace right now.
Is he?
And making 14 Zerglings.
He did start up ground carapace.
Oh, but WarpSpawn is moving in, and I don't know how Ashwin will defend this. For he has no defenses and only 14 Zerglings.
Looks like Elven throws down a spine crawler here at the last moment. I don't believe he's going to be able to get that in before he gets over there. WarpSpawn holding off. And there he goes for the attack. That's a lot of Zerglings for those roaches. He reinforces and pulls in before the spine crawler can get down.
Will he get the cancel?
Ah, and it's destroyed before he can cancel it.
Just shooting acid away at that hatchery.
And there goes the expansion for ElvenAshwin.
He does get the queen out, which just dies.
Which quickly dies. It did indeed. That poor queen didn't know what was going on.
I don't think Ashwin has anything.
Elven's
He
just
has nothing.
pushing out Zerglings, and there goes to GG. WarpSpawn takes victory. It is 1-1, tied. Looks like we're going to go into the final game here.
I didn't think WarpSpawn was gonna win.
I didn't either.
Oh.
My game's lagging a little bit here. Oops, I can't type. Final game for WarpSpawn and ElvenAshwin. We're going to move this along to Neo Planet S Limited Edition. And I still can't actually see the stream chat. I don't know what is wrong with my thing. Let's see. Control N. What does Control N do?
It brings up nameplates in the game. Yes.
It's not working.
In the game, like when we're
I'm in the... Oh, like in the...
in the match.
Why would I do that?
So you can have fancy nameplates.
Oh. Okay, I'll do that then. I'm sorry. Alright. Back to normal build, says Ashwin. Are you guys both ready? If you are in a game with us and you're playing, please give me the ready when you are ready to go so we can start this as quickly as possible so we don't sit here too long. Alright, they're both ready and here it goes.
Final game between WarpSpawn and Ashwin. We'll see how it goes after that second crazy match between Ashwin WarpSpawn with the 6 pool.
We are actually playing random ladder matches for the most part.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Oh, you're supposed to finish it, Kevin, but you know.
Sorry.
Whatever.
I don't like it. I don't like McDonald's.
Well, you know what? It's catch theme song.
Alright. Third game in the series for WarpSpawn and Ashwin. It is currently a tie. We're on Neoplanet SLE. We've got WarpSpawn in the bottom left versus ElvenAshwin in the top right.
Well, I think Ashwin will actually go a real build this time instead of his cheese.
A little bit of friendly banter back and forth again.
Yeah.
Elven saying he won't cheese and Warp saying he may or may not.
Could go for his 7 pool.
His 6 pool with 7 drones. Possibly 8 drones, depending on the mood.
You never know. Did you press Control N?
Yeah, I got nice little pretty plates up here at the top since Vega likes the pretty plates, apparently.
Man, look at that APM go.
Oh, we got some APM going, huh? Let's look at this. Oh, look at that. Warp started feeding his APM a little bit since he was at about 9.
Oh.
That's some sexy high roll
Look at the
APM.
APM.
0,
That's
nice.
Look at EPM, man. Hey, they're doing something.
Looks like both players are working heavy on economy. There goes Warp's spawning pull, 3/4 of the way out. And ElvenAshwin's just getting 1/3 of the way in.
Looks like Ashwin is ahead by 2 drones right now.
Does appear that way.
But WarpSpawn did get a little bit earlier spawning pool.
Looks like Warp's already building some Zerglings in there.
Ashwin is going for that expansion already.
And there goes the Roach Warren and an Extractor for WarpSpawn.
We'll have to see where that goes.
WarpSpawn's sending out a small scouting task force to check out what Ashwin's doing over here.
I want to say something. I'm not going to say it.
What are you going to say? Go ahead and say it.
It looks like WarpSpawn's going to ram Ashwin.
We know how our friend here at WarpSpawn likes to ram stuff. He talks about it all the time.
Oh, don't tell him I said it.
You know he's going to watch this later and be like, oh really, Eric? Really?
I had to say it. WarpSpawn is getting some information from this trusty scout squad.
He did get quite a bit of information. He now knows that he has basically nothing down there other than that little expansion that's popping up.
He did see the extractor though.
So he brings in roaches down here at his base.
I think Ashwin might go for a Spire. With some Muta Harass.
Gotta love that Muta Harass.
I think my power just went out.
Your what just went out?
My power.
we're losing Toxic here. He's timing out of the game a little bit.
No. I can't watch on my TV now. Oh, that was interesting.
Would your power blink on and off?
No, because I had my laptop hooked up to my TV, and then boop, it just popped off.
Still got no upgrades on the field whatsoever.
Ashwin is ahead in drones by 10 though. And I don't think WarpSpawn's just committing to this army, but Ashwin just has a Zergling sitting right there. It's like a standoff.
ElvenAshwin still is yet to scout out WarpSpawn's base to see what he's doing. And WarpSpawn's almost got an expansion out. Pushes back that one little Zergling is trying to get a look-see.
Yeah.
ElvenAshwin's getting a little bit nervous over here, throwing down a spine crawler.
He does see that roach army, but you know, he doesn't know what's in his base. All looks like WarpSpawn is popping out missile attack 1.
Yes, he is. Still no other upgrades. There's some banelings for ElvenAshwin. He's trying to ramp those things up. And his Roachborn has quickly come in at 1/3 of the way.
He is producing 14 more Zerglings and has a Roachborn on the way.
And that poor little depressing Zergling just met its demise over here.
Nobody knows.
Looks like Ashwin's trying to spread a little bit of creep now.
Still, Ashwin just producing Zerglings. No roaches yet.
Elven has hit a
Roachborn is
supply
finished.
cap over here as well. Trying to pull in some overlords. You never want to hit that supply cap. That's really bad. There he goes.
6. Spreading his creep.
Oh wow. Elven's really starting to work on his economy. He's got 11 drones coming in. He's upgrading his Carapace, spreading his creep, and got 3 extractors coming in. WarpSpawn is working on his Hydralisk den.
Oh, Zerglings
It's in.
over there. Picking off
That poor little
drones,
drone.
trying to get the expansion. Ooh,
Ah,
that drone just got obliterated.
Elven's still just building his military might over here. Yes, he just drastically increases his economy. We've now got 46 harvesters for ElvenAshwin versus 24 for Gage from WarpSpawn over here. And ElvenAshwin just keeps boosting his economy and boosting his economy over here while Warp is trying to build up a military, but doesn't have the economy really to support it. He is working on a 3rd expansion. Or 2nd expansion. 3rd base.
Looks like WarpSpawn going out for a little scouting expedition.
There's WarpSpawn's famous Overseer.
There's a Zergling scouting over to the left.
And I've been told here the
Ashwin-
Twitch chat just came back up. We don't know what's going on with it.
Ashwin does put down a spire. So you could see some Muta harass. Or maybe he's Zergling Muta. WarpSpawn does have a missile attack level 2 upgrading right now. Ashwin's 3rd expansion just finished. WarpSpawn does scout it.
Looks like Elven's got a little bit of Mutalisks coming in here, 8 of them to be exact.
I mean, I just think that Elven's just ahead by such a drastic amount with 55 drones to 35.
Yeah, there's...
His economy is just
His-
so far ahead. He has 2,000 minerals on spare right now.
Yeah, our players are pulling quite a bit of resources. I don't know why they're holding on so much. They need to boost their production abilities so that they can just crush their opponents. But it looks like Elven's is pretty happy with what he's got. He's going in with those Mutalisks.
I don't think WarpSpawn has anything. He has 3 Hydra.
Oh,
no,
and there goes the Mutalisk taken out at WarpSpawn's second expansion.
Will WarpSpawn be able to cancel that? I don't think so.
And he failed to cancel it. He lost that 300 minerals. However, he is boosting his ability on Hydralisks here. He should be able to hold off Mutalisks if he can get him in there. Pushes those Mutalisks back. Elven's producing another 3 Mutalisks for more harassment, plus Flyer upgrades 1. And he's boosting his economy some more.
WarpSpawn is just behind in economy by so much. And Elven's not even making any drones at his 3rd expansion yet. Oh, he's transferring.
There's some more harassment. Quickly takes out the Hydralisk Den and runs off. I don't believe he lost a single unit there, did he?
Nope.
Warp tries to throw back down another Hydralisk Den.
He puts down 3 spore crawlers. And Elven is making 4 more mutas. With another extractor.
He's just keeping this Mutalisk harass up. He's just popping in and taking out what he needs to and runs off. Warp has got to get off the defensive. He has got to push forward. He's got to do some damage. But he can't leave that base undefended before the spore crawlers are up. He quickly loses both of them.
Oh, but saves the Hydra then.
Just does get in to save that Hydralisk Den, but does not take out a single Mutalisk.
Ground Carcass 1 coming out for WarpSpawn. With 5 more mutas on the way for Elven.
And it looks like Elven's still boosting his economy a little bit. He's at 59 harvesters versus 31 for Gage. And there goes the Hydralisk Den. They quickly run in and just demolish it while Gage is out on the map. He can't defend it.
WarpSpawn's just going to go on the offensive and try to pull back these mutas. Which Ashwin does pull back to try to defend against this attack. It's producing...
There's so many Banelings and Zerglings over there. Those Hydralisks get mutilated.
And I think Ashwin will be able to clean this up.
Oh, he just mops the forces, and Warp gives a GG.
That's game.
Ashwin pushes forward to the next bracket. Good job for both players on that game.
Whew. Well, Ryan, I think I have to go.
All right.
Because I think I'm in next series.
You're getting there. You're actually in second bracket. You won't actually be playing until after this bracket's over. Yeah.
Dang.
The next game is actually Carnage versus Sneaky. Let's see how this goes. Pretty plates, says EvilVangore. Alright, let's see if we can grab our next couple of people here. As Sneaky actually messages me right now as I'm saying that. Yay, he says. Alright, so do I have any votes for what the next map should be? I'll let you guys decide what you want it to be. Anybody got suggestions for the next map?
Newkirk.
Newkirk, alright. Let's see, Newkirk District. Alright, let's pull in our players here. What was it we got here? Carnage and Sneaky. Newkirk was also the suggestion, which is actually what we chose. That works out. Invite to a game. Alright, so who's going to be my caster for this, since you're apparently leaving me here?
I have to go.
Oh,
I'll be back before my game.
you better be, or you'll get dropped out.
I will.
Alright. Evil? You're in the channel with me, Evil.
Oh, okay.
You were supposed to be my original caster anyway. Alright,
Fair
let's see.
You're kind of
Be my original cat. You may want to close your
You're
stream, by
kinda
the way.
Yeah, I just did.
Alright, both of our players are closing down the stream for now, while they load this up. Control A. Cannonball with his current Joe Filler. What does Control A do? Like, I don't know what these commands are. I haven't really used these.
I'm just trying the game. I think it's APM or something. Army/workers, that's it.
Javi, we actually do have quite a few Spanish-speaking people. Vega is actually one of them. He's our administrator and moderator on our chat server, and actually heads part of the Spanish section. He translates and everything else for us in that area as well. Alright, so we got our first game here with Slick and Sneaky versus Carnage, and this is actually Sneaky from the Slick and Sneaky. His brother actually couldn't be here. He is actually at work. He had planned on joining as well.
Upsetting.
Yeah. He's actually pretty
So I
decent.
prepared for him. I prepared for him. Alright, so we got a Zerg vs Protoss on Newkirk District. What do you reckon the outcome's gonna be? What are you predicting?
This one I'm not really sure about. I kind of lean towards Sneaky.
Yeah, like,
They're pretty decent players, both of them, I do believe.
if Carnage can turtle, he might have a good chance of winning him, but if Sneaky can meter harass and maybe get through his wall and do some decent economy damage, it might be a bit hard. The bottom left-hand corner, we have the light blue Protoss Carnage. In the bottom right, the orange Zerg. We have Sneaky, I'm pretty sure it is playing as Zerg. I think he only recently got Heart of the Swarm, so should be an interesting map to see if he's used to all the upgrades.
This will be an odd game for him, just starting out on Heart of the Swarm. Apparently they've played each other before in 1 versus 1, and both of them won a game. So let's see how this goes. This is their rematch.
The winner takes all. I wonder if we're gonna get some early harass, or is the Protoss Carnage just gonna turtle up?
Shout out to Obstat.
Friendly banter between the players. Always good to have some friendly
Yeah.
banter.
It is always nice. We like to see our players be as friendly as possible. We don't really like those guys that get real uptight.
True, too.
Yeah. You can be competitive and
The
not be a
Carnage.
total dick.
Yeah, looks like Carnage gone for a bit of a scout. Also, Sneaky sending his Overlord across the back to have a little peek. We've got a quick.
There's a
We got a
quick
proxy
hatchery. Huh.
Quick hatchery, yeah. That's a quick double hatchery. Shit. Looks like he might be going to mass.
Carnage is going the pretty much standard. He's got a gateway coming in and just finished an assimilator. He's going for that early Vespine.
You know, this probe is going to see the hatchery. This is huge. This is big for him. You can see some shenaniganries up.
There goes the spawning pool
pool's
down.
just gone up.
Looks like Carnage is still working on that pretty standard Protoss build. He's got a assimilator in with Vespine coming in and a cybernetics core coming in as well.
It's pretty similar to what all Protoss do. I pretty much do that build. And we got another expansion coming out for Sneaky.
Wow,
3
he's
hatcheries
really working
by
on
the
that
3.5
economy.
minute. Yeah, wow. I think he's looking for some earlier ass with Zerglings and Roaches. He hasn't got any gas yet, which I'm surprised about. Is he just gonna go like pure Zerg? No queens out yet. He hasn't even started making a queen.
This is pretty
Not even a
interesting to have
salad.
3 hatcheries and no queen.
Yeah, Carnage is just getting his Stalker out first up.
Going for a second gateway and
The-
chrono boosting that warp gate in.
The drone is still followed the probe all the way back to base.
Oh, he was
Kill
trying
it.
to finish it off. Oh, and there it goes before he dies. Takes an even trade there.
The drone gets brownie points.
Noble sacrifice. Martyrer for the Zerg.
We got 5 lings out for Sneaky. As for this, the Protoss only has a Stalker with 1 more Stalker coming up, and Warp Gate's not done yet, so if he can take out these Stalkers, he can do some economic damage. But he's
There
just going
goes
to
the
sit up here.
mothership core reinforcement.
Oh, that's good, but he doesn't have an expansion yet, which I was surprised about. He's sitting on...
He's still sitting on one
there goes his
base.
Robo. There goes his Robo.
Yes, indeed.
He's got a lot of energy, and he's not chronoing anything. He could be chronoing out more workers to get some more minerals quicker.
He is falling behind on the
There we go.
workers on the Zerg side. He's only got 17 out to 26 on Protoss.
Yeah, and he only just chrono boost that one when it was just starting. He needs to utilize that chrono boost. He uses it once and lets it run out, and he could use it a little bit longer.
It's kind of odd he only has 17 harvesters considering he has 3 hatcheries out. He finally has his queens on the battlefield though.
Gate coming down for Carnage. And warping into warp gates and his robos up. Really get the observer out. Stalker and a zealot out. Robo still isn't being used. Like, no observer, no immortals, nothing yet.
Carnage goes for a slight scout with that mothership core. Gets a little bit of a vision there, but nothing he didn't already know.
3 queens out. 4 actually.
Looks like the army supply is in Slick's favor at the moment with tons of Zerglings on the field.
Yeah, I think he has 21 lava.
He does have a lot of
4 of
lava.
which are morphing into drones. He turned these all into Zerglings with enough minerals, he could swarm the Protoss base.
Yes, he could. He could just decimate him.
Even with Photon Overcharge, he would still do massive damage, because if he casts Photon Overcharge, he can just run straight through. I'm surprised we haven't got any cannons or anything up to help him turtle. Mortal comes out though, that's possibly a good thing, but... I don't know, Observer's coming out now. Forge just goes up then. Is he gonna go Sky, or is he just gonna remain Ground Force? Ooh, 3 Spine Crawls coming out for Sneaky. Looks like he just wants to survive and pump out units. Metabolic boost has 20 seconds to go.
Looks like Sneaky is catching up on the economy side here. He's now up to 26 harvesters versus 31 for Protoss. Protoss really slowed down on his economy here as he's trying to expand to a second base.
He needs to be pumping out these workers. Moving his stock to the middle of the map, which is going to be seen by this Naga tower.
With those spine crawlers there, it is fortunate he went ahead and built his immortal to break it, but it doesn't look like he's going to press his advantage at the moment. He's going to fall back.
I'm going to move his observer in, I reckon. Get a little bit of a scout out to see what's there. And Carnage is pretty much oversaturated. There we go. Transfer some probes from the main to the natural. And he's got another immortal coming out. Like, no upgrades or anything. Like, no. Oh, there we go. He's researching one weapons.
I'm really surprised he hasn't tried to push forward with his tech tree at all and move forward and get some Colossi on the battlefield. Slow down those Zerglings.
No Templar Archives, no Stargate, no Robotics Bay. I don't know what he's trying to achieve. Like, he comes to Overseer.
Sneaky's just pushing out some Zerglings. He's just massing up a massive army.
Nidus Worm! Nidus Worm!
Ooh. This will be really bad for Carnage if he can't stop that Nidus Worm from coming out. Sneaky's just loading it up with Zerglings and loading it up and loading it up. And it finishes, and here they come. They're pouring out, and oddly enough, he's going for the pylons and not for the Nexus or the economy. Here comes the reinforcements for Protoss, barreling in. They fall back into the Nidus Worm and make a run for it.
That was a bad engage from Sneaky. He should have gone straight for the economy and done some damage.
Yes, he should.
Didn't even. He got nothing out of that. He just damaged the pylon. But there's other pylon. That pylon would have done nothing.
That was a horrible mistake. Horrible. If he would have went for that economy, he could have really decimated Carnage and took him almost completely out of the fight.
Protoss has lost 4 units. Zerg has lost 18. How that Nidus Worm comes out. Is he going to go for the pylon again, or is he going to make the right decision?
Ah! And there goes Carnage over there to put out a pylon and sees the Nidus Worm coming in. Is he going to pull his military in or not? There goes the military.
There we go. Why is he going for the pylons? Why, Sneaky? Why?
Sneaky comes in with queens. What is he doing? Another horrible engagement. There's just queens getting killed all over the place.
Pumping them out. So when he pulls them back in, the Nidus immediately pumps them back out. So Protoss has lost 6 units. The Zerg has lost 55. This is a huge advantage for Protoss. If he just keeps pumping drones, if he can just keep pumping, if he keeps pumping units into his base, he's just going to lose them if he keeps going for pylons. He needs to target his mineral line, or not Nidus at all.
Carnage needs to go for an attack right now and see what he can do. He could really push forward if he just decided to attack in.
The Evo chambers are just starting to come out. But he's got one weapons, but...
We've got Sneaky lagging here a little bit, slowing the game down.
Well, there we go. Robo Bay comes up, and he's got Lance coming out with a Colossi, so this Colossi is going to be out. 40 seconds on the Lance. 50 seconds on the Colossi, so he's going to have a Colossi out by the time the next wave comes.
I apologize again for anybody that's watching the stream. For some reason, the Twitch chat just is not working. It keeps going down for a lot of us, and we can't respond or see what anybody's doing. If you do have anything to say to us, you can hop on our community channel on StarCraft 2 or in our clan channel if you're in our community. You can go to our website or Twitter or Facebook and send us a message, and we should be able to receive it and respond to you on there. Looks like Sneaky is at a slight disadvantage on units over here.
No Twilight Cancel, no Blink, or really any upgrades really, other than just the armor and weapons won.
Protoss head and harvesters. He's at 46 to Sneaky's 37.
That chrono boost is good, but I'm surprised with the triple Hachi. He's expanding again. What is he trying to do? Economy and just destroy his pylons?
Sneaky could really have done a lot of damage if he would have just went straight for that economy there.
Hydras. Some Hydras. Hasn't even gone anything else. Like, he's still sitting on just 6k.
Looks like Carnage may push forward for a little bit of a harass here or attack. He's going to the middle to that little Zelnaga tower.
At the moment, there's not really anything going on either side. There's not really much teching up. You got one armor coming up, but no damage yet for, like, the Zerg. The only upgrade the Zerg has is metabolic boosts. And the Protoss has 1-1. If he engages this correctly, he could do a lot of damage to the Zerg army. Oh, Protoss is supply blocked. And he's got 3 more gates coming up. Looks like he's just gonna mass Stalker, Zealot, and Sentry and Colossi. Oh, there we go. Twilight Cancel comes up.
There he goes.
Is he gonna research Blink or Charge, or is he just gonna go for another building? That Colossi is just standing there. Is it stuck, or is he just leaving it there?
Looks like he's getting his extended thermal lances.
Oh, I think he's got that second Colossi stuck.
Very nice.
Oh no, it can fit through the pylons, unlike what I did. I got my Colossi stuck behind one of my gates.
I was curious in your game, why didn't you just warp him back to your Nexus?
Because I didn't think of that. I was just like, oh shit, I'm in the way. Then I realized, I destroyed it. I'm like, hang on. Then I went to travel. I'm like, hang on, my mothership will recall. Base palm. I'm like, oh well, I already did it. Screw it.
And there goes the fight. He pulls forward some of those Zerg units.
Damages the spines. He needs to target these spines. Yeah, the spines are getting destroyed. And the Colossi do heavy damage. Look, time warp him. Oh,
Sneaky is taking the heavy damage. He is losing his fight bad.
Colossi extended thermal lance is destroying him. And the third Colossi comes in. It's gonna be GG for Sneaky. There we go. The GG is called and surrender comes in.
Yeah. Carnage takes
Nice
game number
push by
1.
Carnage. That was a good focus. Focusing this vine crawlers down and then the rest of his army. That was really well focused. While the Zerg was just stuck, not being able to touch his Colossi that were pretty much destroying all his army.
Whoops. Alright, do we have any votes for what the next map should be? Anybody?
Put them on a 3v3 map, see how they fare.
Akalon? Or Vestige?
Let's go Akalon.
Akalon?
Yeah.
Akalon Wastes, I take it?
I seem so, yeah. Thanks, Vega. We had 2 Akalons with an A, and we've had 1 Akalon with an I. GG.
Alright, let's bring Carnage back in here. I need to get you in my party so you automatically come with me.
Yeah, that is probably a good idea.
There you go. Alright, so we got Carnage in here. Get you in here. And... where's he at on here? Where you at, Sneaky? Come here, Sneaky.
He's been sneaky.
Bad Sneaky, you hiding.
Hiding in the shadows. Not swimming around.
Alright, we're waiting for our players to give if they're ready or not. Don't forget when you're in the game, if you are ready when we get in the lobby, go ahead and give me that you're okay and ready to go. That way we can go ahead and start it. We can push forward as soon as we get in here. I'm gonna let my friend here, Evil, bring in the game. I'm gonna step away for just a moment.
Alright guys, we've got the second match between Slick and Sneaky and Carnage on Akalon Wastes. That might be especially good for Protoss because a reasonably thin ramp that he can wall off on and maybe put some cannons up to prevent any pushes into his main and his natural. Also gives the Zerg a pretty straight stretch to spread his creep along the map, but we're into the game. In the top left hand corner we have the light blue Protoss Carnage, who is currently on 1 game. In the bottom right hand we have Sneaky, the orange Zerg, who is currently down a game but is hoping to look for redemption. Then we've got the Overlord Scout coming out. Both teams say good luck, have fun, and the game begins. There we go, the Scout comes out for Carnage, he's sending a probe along the map. So if it looks like pretty standard opening to what they're doing. Ooh.
Alright, let's see here.
Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Carnage gone in for a bit of a scout. He's going to see that he doesn't really have much. He's just pumping out drones. And is the drone going to go on another mission?
That little drone is just leading him all over the place.
Spawning pool goes up and Carnage is going to see this. The gateway's also up for Carnage. Are we going to have any early pressure, or is the Protoss going to do the same and just go for mass? Is Protoss just going to go mass gateway and push when he thinks it's right, or is Zerg going to go Nidusworm and redo it? And he focused the mineral line this time. And the drone's gone on another mission.
And there comes the gateway in.
He's gonna wait. I bet he's gonna wait until he gets his cyber up to get a stalker, as he did last time.
Yeah.
I think I'm right. He hasn't got a zealot out yet, which is kind of bad. If he puts some early pressure on with a few early Zerglings, he's got nothing to defend.
You've got a little bit of lag in here in this game.
Really? I don't have any lag.
Yeah, I saw the game pause.
Oh.
Sneaky's trying to be sneaky and have a little bit of lag advantage or something here.
2 Zerglings coming up sneaky, and if
There goes the warp gate.
Warp gate's his starter, but he doesn't have enough Vespine to get a stalker out. He could probably boost some early pressure. Oh, the drone's not going to survive this time, or has he killed one? No, no one's lost nothing yet.
Sneaky gets his
Pulls
queen
out
over there and
Zerglings.
duties on his hatchery to pull in some more larvae. He loves to inject that thing.
The Roach one's nearly done for Sneaky. Got another 10 seconds before it's up. There's another 20 seconds on his stalker. He hasn't put any pressure down with his Zerglings, which I thought he might. He's just gathering them up. Expansion for either side. They're both just sitting on one base. Extra lava's popped for Sneaky. Is he going to pop out some roaches?
Oh, that poor little drone just
Yes,
didn't
no.
make it.
He's got some roaches and Zerglings coming out. Crawl, my overlord, crawl!
Watch that little stalker work.
He wants it.
He wants it bad. He's going out for it.
That overlord's like, why can't we be friends?
There goes the robotics bay.
He comes. Oh, he's patrolling him. What? It looks like he's patrolling them into his base.
He is indeed. What is that about?
Comes the probe, he's going to see the push, but he only has one stalker. He's just getting Warpgate. This is looking bad.
Sneaky lags a little bit more again.
Ooh, cancel goes out on the natural. He cancelled this. He doesn't have, oh, he's got his mothership core up. This can be big, but he doesn't have enough energy to use photon overcharge. He backs off. He's just going for the robo. He's go for the mineral line. Trying to walk in an immortal, but he's supply blocked. Just focus down.
Sneaky taking heavy damage.
Focus down the stalkers. Focus down the stalkers. Mineral line. Mineral line. Mineral line. Mineral line.
He needs to. He's not going for it. He needs to take out that mineral line. Oh, he's just swarmed by drones. Those roaches are just going down one by one. He's aiming for those probes, taking them out.
I don't reckon he needs to pop photon overcharge. He has stalker, mothership, and drones attacking. He could have survived it, I reckon. He had shields up on his drones. His probes, sorry.
We're pretty even here. We've got 19 harvesters for Sneaky and 17 for Carnage after that attack. Carnage lost quite a bit of his income.
The Carnage has gotten an immortal out. He's lost a bit of shields on that. Second immortal coming out right now. Mothership core chasing down the remaining Zerglings to try to push into his base. Are we going to see the same from Carnage? Just mass warp gates and a few Colossi? Or are we going to see him maybe go some Sky Toss or something?
It looks as if he's going to go Gateway and Robo again. He's got 2 more Gateways coming in.
Carnage, Thrillers. 3 Stalkers, an Immortal, and a Mothership core against 2 Zerglings. Who will win? Of course.
Those Zerglings almost won.
Yeah.
That was a nail-biting moment for Carnage.
The intensity of the match. Oh, was this probe going to go for a scout or maybe put up Prox's pylon? Expansion just came out for Sneaky.
Carnage also going for an expansion once again.
Looks like Sneaky's going for the same as he did before. Hydralist, Roach. And it's just Hydralist. Really need some roaches against this cluster. Oh, I forgot about that core. I think he's used to Wings of Liberty.
He is.
So he's not used to the Mothership core.
No.
What else
it is definitely something to get used to after Wings of Liberty. That core, really, in Wings of Liberty, Protoss were a little weak early game. They were easily harassed, but
really immune. They were really
they were
really destroyed.
Early Zerg or Terran attacks.
That Overseer's just going to see that Observer. That is Hydralist going to kill that Observer.
Ah, what a waste.
Just the perfect time. That Overseer was just being morphed in as he came up the ramp.
Poor Sneaky doesn't really understand about the overcharge and time warp and all those abilities here.
Mass recall. I actually don't understand about mass recall because I didn't use it.
He's not used to that air support early game and having to deal with something attacking from the air.
Robo Bay coming down, but
he doesn't really have the economy anymore. He's fallen behind in Harvesters, Carnage is. Sneaky pulled ahead in the lead with Harvesters with 34-30. Looks like the only upgrades on the field is Warp Gate for Carnage and Metabolic Boost and Muscular Augments for Slick and Sneaky.
Yeah, we've got 33 drones. 40 drones and 36 probes. 6 Hydralists, 6 Overlords, 2 Overseers, 2 Queens. Not really much out for Sneaky. 3 Zealots, 2 Immortals, 5 Stalkers, 1 Sentry, and 1 Mothership core. He could push, I reckon. He could do some heavy damage.
He does have 34 army compared to the 16 for Slick and Sneaky here.
Well, Zag's lost 22 units, while Protoss lost 13. Oh. Metabolic Boost and Muscular Augments are coming out.
Our guys are just kind of holding back, trying to tech a little bit. I think they're both a little scared to try and advance on the other player. We got Sneaky trying to pull in some air units over here and upgrade his hatchery into a lair.
He's got an infestation pit up, but what's he doing with it?
Oh, excuse me, into a hive. I apologize. I don't know what I was saying. Carnage went offline and just logged back on just now. We don't know. He's still in the game. There goes that little zealot just sneaking right on past.
He's moving it.
Checks out that expansion.
He's going to take one probe with him.
He's going to take out a couple. Oh, he needs to kill that other drone.
Kill that? No.
There we go. At least he's a
Colossi just comes up. Colossi wanted it so bad. Oh!
It's like, nah.
Double expansion.
Nice.
Rally. He rallied.
Made a little bit of a button press mistake there. Lol, nothing, he says. He tries not to let Sneaky know what he was doing. Goes for another two gateways.
Look at the double hatchery expand.
That's what I was looking at a second ago. He's going real heavy for expansions. Pretty good idea. They haven't spotted. He doesn't even realize. He has to be careful not to overextend himself, though. He doesn't really have much of a military presence on the map. Oh, and there goes some broodlords for Sneaky.
Ooh.
And quite a bit of Zergling reinforcements, as I said that. Looks like Carnage is going for some ground weapon upgrades. Throwing in another couple Colossi out on the field. And quite a bit of gateways are coming in. Holy crap, look at that.
Yeah. Iron gates, I think.
I feel like Carnage is tired of sitting here. He wants to push in. And Sneaky, being all sneaky, throwing that little changeling in there, wandering around, just checking out the scenery. Trying to see if he's starting up an expansion over here. Takes another two extractors trying to get more Vespine pull in. Is he going to go completely air? It does. He's going flyer attacks, and he's got those broodlords in. Getting some more broodlords in.
Yeah, you can do some heavy damage with this because they'll outrange a stalker.
And that's really all the anti-air he has is 5 stalkers. What's he going to do if he attacks with this?
He's got 10 warp gates, and he really needs to boost his army. Oh, Templar Archives at the back. Is he going to try to get some storms? Yep, storms are being researched.
It's definitely a good idea right now. Those broodlords won't be able to pull out of that fast enough. He can get some sonic storms out on the game.
Charge is being done. I would have gone for Blink first, but Predator for charge.
He's throwing out some ground armor as well on upgrades. So far, the cap for upgrades is still just metabolic boost and muscular augments for the Zerg player Sneaky, and thermal lance, warp gates, and just 1 ground upgrade for Carnage. Oh, and there goes the charge ability just finished.
7 thermal lance, warp gate charge, and 1. That's pretty much all the upgrades.
Yeah. Their harvesters are pretty much even. We got 55 for Sneaky and 56 for Carnage. They're both pretty close there. We got 45 out of 148 and 128 out of 128 for Sneaky.
I think he's still sitting on like 1.5k minerals, and that was the best bean. He needs to get that down. Oh, here comes his army, Stalkers and Zealots, but...
There goes some more upgrades, Carapace upgrades for the air units he has here. He needs to really be upgrading his ground units as well. If he's going to be using that many broodlords, he needs to go ahead and get some armor and weapon upgrades for the melee units. It'll boost his Zergling's efficiency and the little broodling's abilities when they hit.
Some mutas coming in.
Little changelings just going around the map, checking it out, seeing if he has any expansions out there.
Ooh, he's got some high Templars with storms.
That is 1 menacing army coming up the ramp after him. That's a lot of zealots. Ah, this is a bad place for engagement. Oh, the Sty Swarms go down. He's inflicting some pretty decent damage here. But does he have the ground forces to deal with those Brood Lords?
Brood Lords need to focus the Stalkers. That's what's going to be doing the damage.
Those Zealots gave up the engagement. They knew it wasn't a possible win. They went for this expansion over here and it's taken out as many.
The Zealots are gone. The Zealots are gone. There's no way to be focus there. Really needs to get these
Those Colossi goes down one after the other.
Good engage from Sneaky, killing down the Stalkers. Colossi's trying to escape with his life, but that's not going to happen.
Carnage really could have pushed forward if he would have gotten some anti-air there, but I don't think he realized it.
You're going to die. I think he's rallied his Colossi, yep. Nope.
He did it again, and Sneaky breezes right past him, doesn't even see it. Here we go here.
Proxy pile on that. We proxy pile on, that's how we got in there.
Really a good idea at this point for Carnage would be to get some Phoenixes on the battlefield here and pick off some of these Overlords that Sneaky's just carelessly throwing around out in the open areas where he can't really defend himself.
He's just started getting 2 Stargates now, but probably not going to be fast enough. Another 10 seconds before they're up and the army's coming in. It's going to probably take another a minute for the Phoenixes to come out.
I'm trying to remember what the things are. I'm so behind on this unit. Yeah, that's what I was looking. Ah, there goes some harassment from Sneaky. Ah, that expansion's going down. He has no forces really on the battlefield to defend himself. And his main is already mined out.
I reckon he's going to go straight for his main. Go for the buildings. If he goes for the buildings, Protost's going to be stuck there because he's only got... He's got 12 Stalkers, 1 Colossi, and 2 Phoenix. That's it.
He's doing a little bit of micro on those Phoenix. He's doing a good job because that's a horrible engagement. And he manages to kite around the Mutalisk and do a fair amount of damage with that 2 little Phoenix. He's trying to attack the Guardians, but there's just too many Mutalisks on the field and it goes down.
He blinks trying to get the Broods.
There goes the GG from Sneaky.
Yeah. Looks like GG.
There it goes.
Good game from Sneaky.
What was that? Was that the second one that Carnage lost there? I mean, Carnage won?
No, Carnage lost that one, I think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know what I meant. I'm retarded.
It's 1-1.
That's what I meant to say. Alright, let's see. What was the other map suggestion we had earlier? The chat's moved quite a bit since I last looked.
I can't take so far up.
Broodlords can do some massive damage if they are not scout. He is correct on that. Broodlords are very mean, especially if they're getting the ground and air upgrades at the same time. Those little broodlings just come out.